I'll go up. Try.
Okay. Sounding, sounding, sounding time is high. Not that high.
In South Korea, they are considering, or yeah,
No, they have already repealed the decriminalization of adultery.
No, they decriminalized
They have
adultery.
decriminalized adultery.
Yeah. So, and one writer who wrote this thinks that it will never happen in the Philippines because it goes against traditional family values.
That's right, because in the Philippines, as long as there is legislation that is against traditional Catholic family values, that legislation will never pass.
Like the RH law. It's a law now. And no, but he relates it to that. The RH law just passed.
So the government does not have the appetite.
Is not likely to, butt heads with the Catholic Church like so soon.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the merits of it. Decriminalizing adultery. Why not? What do you think?
Why would you not decriminalize
Why would you
adultery?
not decriminalize adultery other than the pretty obvious
So that the
traditional family values of the Catholic Church?
So that the people in Congress can keep cheating on their wives with no consequences.
Okay, what's going to happen in the Philippines is not exactly like what happened in South Korea. There's a proposed measure by the representative of Negros Occidental.
Lady
Was
by
it
the name
Oriental?
of-
Occidental?
I forget.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, wherein she wants to, rather than repeal, or rather than decriminalize adultery, she wants to she wants to make the penalties for men and women who commit adultery equal. Because as of right now, it is much more likely that the woman, the wife in legal terms, will be the one to suffer criminal penalties should they commit adultery or any kind of marital infidelity.
So for the guy,
For the guy right now, I think the worst that unless he's caught actually having sex, then I think it's just concubinage or something.
so what the representative from Negros Occidental wants is for the playing field to be level.
As liberals, our instinctive measure for that would be then decriminalize adultery, right? Because it is deeply inherently unfair right now for women, for married women, because if you were a guy who marries a girl in the Philippines, then that girl automatically has far less rights than you in a married relationship.
Decriminalizing adultery
So it seems like the
country,
solution would be decriminalize adultery.
No,
What
but
this-
if you do that, it would be a disadvantage for women actually, because think of it this way: a man is more likely to cheat.
That's not true. Yeah, right. Yeah, all of these assumptions, like for moral depravity and everything, of course, made
He
by
has
the
to cheat with
religious
someone, right?
conservatives. Yeah, are like always based on the same kind of gender biased, antiquated, non-backed up by data preconceptions about the guy who's like. But which even then is deeply unfair to women, right? So, the guy is going to be the one to cheat, so just let him cheat, because like guys are like that. But the woman, like no, like she guards her vagina with an iron wall, like she would, she is pure and virtuous, and only the worst women who are deserving of horrible slut shaming would possibly cheat on their husband. See, even that characterization is so deeply damaging, but that's what they're basing their decisions on.
Okay, so what are the potential downsides to decriminalizing adultery? Because I'm thinking, how it is.
If you look at real world examples,
hold on, for child support, right?
Yeah.
Like the way that the law is set up is that they kind of think of the children, like who are gonna take care of the children. That's why there's such a thing as child support given by the man. It's his responsibility.
Okay.
Because they're thinking of the well-being of the children.
Okay.
So in this case, if the children will likely stay with the mother,
But given
and then the
given
husband,
existing legislation isn't it biased towards, like, in terms of adultery, right? Let's say, like an actual real world situation. Let's say you have a couple that have separated and are in the exceedingly expensive and long process of annulment.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're not in the process of annulment because they can't afford it. Because you need to convince some board which has like a nun and a priest. I'm not sure if there's a priest, but there's definitely a nun on that board as well. Like
I think a priest.
And the
I
priest.
think the nun is
And then like you need to
not
convince
necessary.
them that you need to give some bullshit reason for your annulment, like mental incapacity or something.
Psychological
and then you need to
incapacity.
shell out anywhere from 600,000 to 1,000,000 pesos for, unless you really know
You can
somebody.
get a discount,
Yeah,
200, 300,000.
Yeah, sure. Because so many of our Filipino brothers and sisters can like totally afford that, right?
Yeah.
So let's say they're estranged, and they are separated, and if they were in a country with divorce, they would be divorced.
Yeah.
And let's say that the woman is starting to see somebody new, but they have kids. The kids are staying with the woman. Under the current law right now, being seen with another man or being seen to even live with another man could be grounds for taking those children away. Whereas the guy could be like, all but parading a naked woman in the window of his condo or something, and as long as they're not actually having sex, like he would not be charged with adultery, and if he wanted custody of the kids, like, you could keep them. If you have a situation wherein the children are already comfortable with the woman, if you want to say think of the children, which is why we shouldn't decriminalize. As it exists now, the children are in a very precarious situation because their mother can be taken away from them at the drop of a hat. If the mom is seeing anybody, or even if the mom can be suspected of seeing somebody.
Okay.
Like, because even then, like, the law is like, what? So you hire a private detective and the mom's like seeing some friend or something, but they both go into an apartment. But then you can, like the woman has no freedom.
Okay. So even that is not an excuse to keep the current criminalization status of adultery.
Yeah.
But on a moral level, like, it's kind of peculiar that this kind of private immorality has some legal.
But wasn't one of the arguments that the church made for RH, like, you shouldn't legislate morality. But now, of course, they want to legislate morality.
No, but because it's already the status quo, and they just want to keep it that way. So let's look at the effects. If we, for example, decriminalize adultery tomorrow, what would start to happen? Like, would people be more open about it? I don't think so. Like,
no, I'd say your social cultural mores are still in place.
Yeah, it's not the criminal status of adultery that keeps people from doing it.
That's right. That's right. It's real world circumstances.
Yeah,
it's the fact that not everybody will end up in a fairy tale committed relationship for the rest of their lives. I remember, like, a lot of the arguments, the instinctive argument, like even for, say, divorce, right, is even you legalize divorce, then like all of these marriages will fail. No, those marriages have failed already.
Yeah.
In all but name. Like, all you're doing is cruelly keeping two people together.
Maybe that's what they want to happen.
Increasing misery.
Yep. No. For the sake of keeping the sacrament of marriage, which is holy, and what God has put together.
No, man.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Not real world suffering that's caused by adultery.
Okay. Just so that they can have their shiny sacrament.
Yep. Right. Yep. But okay, what are the odds of that happening in the Philippines? First of all, divorce first, maybe, or do you think the measure suggested by the representative should be done as an intermediate step?
Instinctively, I would think, because it's very different. Like, it's not where I would go, right? I'll just go decriminalize. What she wants is to criminalize everybody, bring the penalties up to the same level. I do wonder. I actually do wonder. It seems reflexively, I would say no, because like that seems a bit harsh for everybody. But on the other hand, thinking about it, I don't know. I don't know what her long-term play is. Like, does she think?
I don't think she's aiming for decriminalization. She really thinks adultery is a thing that should be punished by the law.
It might be that
equally
once there's equal punishment under the law, then the men will suddenly want to push for divorce
or decriminalization.
When they realize, like, how
it's a good thing, right?
Women in their lives have been.
So should we support this? This new measure?
I genuinely don't know.
Okay, so we will talk about decriminalization of adultery and a lot of other cool things. The invite is here. We welcome you to attend. It's on Saturday. It's at his church. Please like, share, subscribe, And see you next time.
Yeah, we'll see you at the Cathedral of the Holy Trinity on Saturday.
Is it Cathedral?